for all of you that what is exactly meant by autonomous transportation, what are the different types of autonomous levels, what are the technologies, examples, communications, security, big data, cloud computing, and other amazing facts that are being added to autonomous revolution. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to give you an information of digital twin. Now, before I start the lecture, I would like to tell you about three things. Now, imagine these are the three things. I don't want to dishearten you for this thing. Digital twin technology is really a complex technology, and this lecture is also going to be a complex lecture. So if you are on your phone, if you are walking with somebody or other things, please sit back, relax, because if you are not with me for next 1 hour, you are not breaking your other things except listening to me, you will not understand this. Digital twin is a very complex technology. It is not for everybody. And the third important thing is, most important, its critical applications and even the way to perform the work, it is very expensive and it is only with the industry today. I will be telling you what I'm doing the work, how I'm collaborated with the industry. But believe me, sometimes I'm saying you as a scientist, sometimes I want that I should close this research because it's a really tough research. And this lecture is not going to be an easy lecture for all of you. It's a tough technology. So understand and listen to me very carefully. Now, everybody, there are two words in this lecture. Now, first, I would like to deliver the lecture that whether it was a myth or whether it was a reality. Now, as a scientist, I would like to tell you that if anybody asks me that, sir, if you have a time machine, what technology of today you want to take from today to the back so that we get improvements, I would like to tell you that I would like to take two technologies back to the past so that our future is certain as a better today. The one is YouTube and second is a digital twin. Now, imagine everybody that if you are making a product and you can test the product to certain capabilities in your factory, and rest, it is all your luck that how the product will perform. And maybe after 1 year or maybe after 6 days, one person report a serious problem in your product and the product is recalled back and you are in a state of dilemma. What we have done, we have lost our goodwill, we have lost our share price, we have lost our faith in customers, and that is all finished. And this happens. But the problem is not in the product. The problem is that the product is not thoroughly tested, and we can't test the reliability of the product 100% in the site of the factory. And how you will test? Testing even requires lots of things to be done in terms of practicality, test cases, and other things. Now, what if I tell you, everybody, let us take a new technology called digital twin. Now, there are two words, digital and twin. Now, before that, there was a technology called human cloning, when we clone the person. Like I'm here in front of you, I get my another clone, which is having the same body characteristics, same brain, everything. Now, imagine I clone a particular product like this mouse, like Logitech made this mouse. And rather than I take this physical mouse for testing, I do a particular twin, like a digital virtual twin of this mouse, like a simulator, and I make a 3D model of that mouse and I do the testing on that. Now, imagine everybody, a patient goes inside the hospital, rather than a precision doctor puts the operation, which means it's a real-time operation, all depends on the experience and caliber of the surgeon, that whether the operation will handle or not. So what if I make a digital twin of that patient? So before that doctor operates the real patient, he operates that same patient with same characteristics on a virtual platform and make it happen, make it experience, which means learning becomes experience, so that real time becomes precision perspective, which means learning with experience with a digital twin, which becomes a reality for the real time. Now imagine if a company makes a new car and they want to test the engine. And rather than to test the engine on real time, we can have the digital twin of that engine and we keep on testing that engine, which means it's a virtual presentation or representation of a physical entity. So that is digital twin. Twin means cloning, which means a particular product, process, or even anything can be cloned in a virtual manner so that you can perform the testing in the virtual aspect improve that virtual aspect, and then improve the physical aspect, which means we can lead to the world where nothing is in the problem. Everything will work with precision. Everything will be perfect. Everything will become not a myth, but everything become a reality with technology as a backbone using digital twin. I will speak very slowly so that you can all understand the lecture. So understand very carefully. It is a very tough lecture today. So why we need the digital twin and how we define the digital twin? This is most important. I have already given you one example, one explanation, but I will explain you in a very interactive manner. Now see this, everybody. The agenda will be what is digital twin, why we are discussing it now, and how it is utilized. Now, this is an important question for you to understand why we are discussing digital twin now. But after this lecture, you will all be stunned, and even you will be asking the question, this technology would have been launched way back, I can say 7 to 8 years back. The word would have been changed. Maybe we have seen iPhone 16 today. Maybe we have seen those mobile phones, we have seen those hospitals that work with 100% precision. Maybe there will be no there will be no death on any hospital bed. Everything will be precised. So this is the technology that we are talking today and how they are utilized. I will be giving you some examples and what area that you can work. But let me tell you, it is only with industry, and what we are working, I can support you, but it is a very complex work to do. Very, very complex. It is not for everybody. Not for everybody. I'm saying you, even after these 2 projects, I have to think again that whether I would like to take the 3rd project of digital twin or whether I would like to shift myself again to my IoT, swarm intelligence, and sensor communications. That's all. So the question is, what is digital twin? Now there are 2 words, digital and twin. Now let's understand this thing. Now what is digital twin? It's known as a digital model. Now this is a pen. Now let me tell you, everybody, this is a pen and this is a physical model. Now, if I clone this physical model into a virtual state, which means that virtual state inherits all the properties of this physical entity, and after that I can do the testing. Okay, sir, what about the cushion? What about the gel pen? What about the clarity? What about everything? Whether it is okay or whether it is not okay. So it can even clone. It can even go for a virtual representation of a product, of a production system, or even the performance of a particular product. Now imagine, everybody, now see this. India makes Tejas aircraft. That is okay, but you know how much time India has took to test that Tejas aircraft? It has taken 8 to 9 years. And of course, the test pilot are always at a life risk. Suppose I give them a new aircraft, and if suppose the engine failure happens, either the pilot ejects or either the plane goes down and loss of millions of dollars. But what if I tell you, we are ready with Tejas, rather than to induct in Indian Air Force, we make the digital twin of that Tejas. We do the operations like a virtual pilot. We test the engine, we test to extreme limit capabilities. And if everything is okay, we can say that physical entity is perfectly okay. So it's a near time digital image of a physical object to optimize the operations. And of course, it combines IoT, and in AI, it combines machine learning. And of course, digital twins, you can see this is the main definition now. Digital twin is basically a virtual replica, which means it is just like a 3D model, like we do augmented reality. Okay. Virtual replica of a physical device so that you can test, you can run the simulations of the actual devices that are being built. Now imagine if you make a jet engine. You want to test that jet engine, which means you have to induct that jet engine, and then you need a person to perform the roles and other things to test the extreme capabilities. But I give you a digital twin of that engine, and you can run your entire operations on that and without any operating cost, which means if there is any problem, it becomes a good thing, because we detect the problem in virtual twin, we optimize the physical thing. Now imagine, everybody, I'm taking you to that engineering where problems are not the issues, where problems are the good things. So if you have a problem in a machine, it is a good thing, because you detect the problem in virtual thing, you are actually making the physical thing in a precision manner. And that's the answer. Now, in the future, we say those software testers or digital testers, they are the #1 people, because they're actually making the things to the precision level. And that's the answer by digital twin. So digital twin will be a platform to test your all physical entities in a virtual manner, like we do the simulations. Okay, so it's like a simulation perform. I will be telling you about the software also, but it's very, very expensive and industry only. So you just understand the concept. So how they are actually built and they are deployed. Now see this. This I have made it very simple for you. Now see this. This is a piston. This is an engine. Now imagine it's an engine of a Tesla car. Now before they induct this engine in the car, and imagine if there is no digital twin and I purchase a Tesla and I own the motor vehicle, and after 15-20 days, I reported them, sir, my engine catch the fire, like we have in Tata Nano. Sir, the mileage that you are claiming is very less. I got 6, you claim 12. Sir, engine is having different types of sounds. Sir, sometimes the speed and sometimes the car gets heated. Sometimes it consumes more fuel. So all this can happen if Tesla launched that vehicle. And after that, they have to take back that vehicle like they happened in that car or other things like that. And after that, we have to redesign that car, which means all the money is wasted. But now what I do, I make a physical asset and I capture all the data that how it happens and I produce a digital model. Now I do the testing on this digital model. I perform the analytics, I perform the errors, and I improve this physical model. Which means before then launching the physical model in the world, we have the accurate testing on the virtual model of the physical model. So digital twin can be used in different types of assets, product, production, and even the process. Now, suppose if I can give you an example, like suppose even I'm also working with a dentist, but I will not give you the name of that dental, but I'm going to change the future of dental technology in next 6 to 8 months. I'm saying you 6 months. Give me 6 months. I'm going to change this revolution. Even my paper is already being accepted. It is going to come soon. Now, imagine everybody, if there is a production line, like suppose my father makes this shirt and they took 7 to 8 production lines in order to make this t-shirt, right? From raw material, cutting the material, it's with all with the computer things and other things. After that, put the buttons, check the other things, then packaging and then dispatching. This is all taking 7 steps. But now my father asked me, can we optimize our process? So we make the digital replica of our physical thing and then we start operating that. Can we add this model over here? Can we make the buttons added at the primary stage? Can we improve the machine like this? So we can even make the simulation of a real production process and then we can optimize in virtual thing and make the physical product better. So it is all because of a model. That's a 3D model. And of course, we have the data, big data analytics, and we are using AI and physical simulations to perform that. And that's how we can test that. Now, imagine if a company launched the robot, rather than they launch the robot like as such, like suppose, like, let me tell you what I'm doing right now. One company, I'm not giving you the name of that company. One company has sent me a drone. Now, what me and my team is doing, we have made the virtual replica of that drone, and we have found that there are certain problems that after reaching a height of 1,000 feet, the drone is having a high battery consumption problem. The camera gimbal doesn't rotate like this and that. So rather we are testing on physical drone, we are testing everything on virtual drone. And we are reporting those problems. And before that company launched that drone, they have those problems corrected and they make the perfect drone in the world. So my specialization in digital twin is the physical modeling and improvement of drones. And second, I'm doing in dental healthcare. So what I'm doing, I will be sharing after some time. So why we are discussing digital twins today? So you will all know that today new technology comes, new technology fails, problems are there. Why not to combat that problems in the production line? Why not to have a product that is perfect product? And that's the reason now you will start agreeing with me that this is a technology, sir, that requires to be early adapted technology. Maybe the face of industries would have been different today. Maybe those products that have failed in the real time would have gone a hit product. Maybe those companies that have shut down because that their product has failed, the customer expectation, maybe they have used this digital twin technology to become a millionaire today. Yes, of course, it can happen. It would have happened if this technology would have been taken to the past time. Of course, it is in the past time, but now it is the latest time. It started in 2020 itself. It's a very latest technology. So now we have the emerging generation of digital twin technology. We build the digital model We build the simulation model, we build the 3D model. Of course, it's a simulation, but of course, we are having the exact physical properties. So don't consider that it is like a network simulation. Everything is like a virtual thing. We do anything. No, it replicates the exact physical properties of a physical thing. Like you're working on a physical thing and it do the simulation, it performs the testing, and we make the physical thing perfect over there. So all the data that can be acquired is using IoT, 5G, and edge computing. And of course, we have analytical tools like machine learning, big data, and simulation. So don't confuse AI over here. We only use ML. But in the near future, I am working on one paper. I am working on my research that how I can replace this machine learning with reinforcement learning. And believe me, everybody, believe me, I'm saying you publicly, if I'm successful in building up machine learning with reinforcement learning, maybe I can solve 60% of manufacturing problem of a chocolate factory, of a t-shirt factory, of a sports factory, and of course, I'm saying you, of a drone factory. If I have reinforcement learning giving encouraging results to me, but it is in the primary stage, we are thinking and we are improving that. So how we get this digital twin into an information value cycle? So the question is, the first thing is that we have a physical thing ready. Okay, sir, this is the mouse. Now, can we launch it? We did the testing. Are you sure that this is a perfect mouse? That the people will not complain, okay, sir, this is a battery problem. Okay, sir, the click is having this problem. Sir, scroll is not working or other thing. Can you say that this model of the mouse is perfect model? This is okay. This is in hand of me. Am I happy to take this product? Will the customers will complain or not? So I build a virtual model of this physical product. And you can see after that, I connect and I collect the data like big data. Okay, sir, let's have the scroll. Let's have this test cases, etc., etc. We analyze. And if there's any problem, if there's a problem like scroll wheel is going down, I test on the virtual windows. Okay, sir, Windows connectivity is 2 seconds, but Mac OS connectivity is 5 milliseconds. We have to work on that. We execute, we optimize, and we innovate. So that's the reason, everybody, before you make the product to the market, you actually make the product precision for the market. You actually make... Nitin sir, excuse me. Nitin sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir, kindly see that some of the participants are disturbing, and if they are not interested to take the lecture, they can go ahead. But don't disturb my, you can say, मेरा ताल disturb नहीं होना चाहिए, sir, please.
Sure, sir.
Please, sir, जरा आप देखें जरा इसको आप थोड़ा सा.
Okay, sir. I'm watching.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I hope presenter, because it's a tough lecture going on, I don't want any variation in my lecture, please, because I will not give that thing that is required by the participants.
Sure, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. So the question now stands, how these digital twins are being implemented. Now you know what is a digital twin, how the digital twin is working. It can clone anything. It can make a 3D model, and then you perform the simulations. We have the software, and of course we have cloud computing, edge computing, and machine learning. So we are working on reinforcement learning, but still it will take time, maybe 1 or 2 years, but still we will do that. So now the question is, how are digital twins being implemented? Now that is the answer. Now let me tell you, everybody, digital twins is actually being implemented for complex machines. Very complex machines, like we say an aircraft jet engine, like Tejas, electric vehicle. If you want to talk of a racing car, if you want to talk of an assembly line where we are making a space shuttle, imagine everybody, you will be stunned to know today, if India has adopted, now I'm saying you publicly today on this, like touching the table like this, if India has adopted digital twin in Vikram lander, or if the ISRO has adopted the digital twin and they have tested the Vikram lander with different test cases, maybe with this digital twin, our moon mission would have been a successful mission. I'm saying you openly right now, because we have already tested the Vikram lander, we have already tested the other things that this could have worked, or this could have been the technology there, and we have taken that unsuccessful moon mission to a successful mission today, because we already tested that this could happen. And this may have happened. Let's make this machine perfect today. So this is the answer, everybody, that you are getting the test cases of the physical thing in the real-time environment using simulations. So this is the project versus performance. Now imagine everybody that you can take a Vikram lander in your head, you can take a USB pen drive, you can take a sports car, anything you can take. You can see that whatever that we do is plan, we design and engineer, and after that we go for testing and quality improvements. But is this enough? And we have to follow the Pareto principle. I'm a professor of software testing. I always say to my students that only 60% to 55% of the product can be tested, no matter you have a team of testing or other thing. But the whole world is your beta tester. That's why today Apple, Windows, and even your Linux and other things, before they launch the real thing, they give you the beta release. Now imagine, rather than to have the beta release, we go for this type of digital twin when we test the performance of the product and we optimize, we remove the errors, and then we deconstruct, and then we improve the quality. We have the perfect product in the planet. Moon mission would not have been failed, everybody, if this digital twin would have been adopted. Tejas would have been implemented in Indian Air Force in 2014, or maybe we would have gone for more advanced stealth technology if this digital twin technology would have come in 2010s or 2009s. That's the answer, everybody. Now you will agree with me. So see this, everybody, that digital twin can work throughout the cycle. Now imagine, see this, everybody. Now imagine it's a jet engine. It's a induction motor. So you can see that we have made the exact digital twin, which means the features of the physical thing is actually being replicated with this digital twin. Now this is a digital twin. Now if you make an error here and you launch this, this would be recalled back. This is a problem with you. But if you make an error here, I would be appreciating you. That, okay, thank God you saved me. Okay, so it is designed, it is built, and it is maintained. And after that, we keep on improving the throughput, we keep on improving the yield, we keep on improving the parameters. And of course, when this motor will be designed, it will be the perfect motor. Now give me this answer, everybody. Why ISRO, why the other companies have not adopted digital twin before 2019, I can say. That's the answer for us. That's the answer where products and industry were failing, but now digital twin has the answer for that. We have the answer for every failure. We have the answer for every product success. Now with digital twins, it's a change of the face of industry 4.0 towards industry 5.0. Now digital twin, you can see with this graph, and this is what we have done our research. You can see over here that we are reactive. We run to failure and then we repair, like iPhones. Okay, sir, battery problem. Samsung phone, battery exploding. Washing machines exploding. We wait for failure and then we repair. We get the service fixed in time. Of course, okay, sir, screen is having the problem. Let's fix that. We have the condition based. Okay, sir, if there is any problem, we will replace you and give you the new one. But now, everybody, we have the mature digital twins. Then, rather than we have this type of things or facilities, we have algorithms, we have test cases, we do the testing thoroughly, and then we release the car. So now, everybody, this is the answer to Tata, that rather than to test that car and take 2 or 3 years to launch, why not Tata should adopt digital twin? They make the digital twin for electric vehicle, they test the engine and then they launch. Maybe the history of Nano will not be repeated. Of course, it should not be repeated. So considerations will be that we have the economy of data, the volume, fidelity, we have good collaboration with building, convergence, and of course, scalability. Now imagine everybody is a part of digital twin. I give the digital twin as an open source that, okay, sir, this is a digital twin. We are also working on that platform, how we can share that. So if there is a digital twin, let's share with the other people, with other engineers and architects that, okay, can you test this digital twin? Can you find the problems? And can we make the exact ones? So imagine how much the connectivity and collaboration can come in the products of near future. We can build up a product where there is no failure. So digital twin, no failure. So now let me tell you some of the operational digital twins that are in action right now. So this is one of the things that you can organize operations of multiple users, visualize the results, train the employees with actual data, and optimize after service. Now imagine, everybody, if you are making a training center, you can only make 50% of that training center. Rest of the 50%, you just have to be dependent on the employees. Now, what if I make the digital twin of all the production assembly and put my employees on that assembly that, okay, please do this work, let the computer give you the points. Now you are ready, go to the production assembly line. Maybe no worker will make a single mistake on the production line. It will be 100% precision production. So you can see over here that we can organize the data for specific organizations. Like you can see, we have the engineering operations and maintenance, and all the data can be analyzed with using big data and AI. So this is one of the software that you can use right now that is called OSI Soft Asset Framework, and it analyzes the efficiency. And you can see that lots of the engines, turbines, windmills, and even you can say a jet engine is also being tested on this platform. So this is what you can see, that we have the assets, we have the automation systems, we have the sensors, we have IoT solution. So see this, we have the real-time data. We put that data in a model. We construct this type of model with the power of artificial intelligence and machine learning. We are able to test, we are able to do the predictions, and we improve the physical model. So the answer is physical model should be 100%. How? The answer is digital twin. So this is one of the dashboard that you can see on Boeing 777 aircraft, where the digital twin was there, and they got the real-time data that what is the engine performance, what is the cooler performance. Before that, pilot has to test, and pilot makes a decision, the company makes a decision. But now, no problem. We have digital twin, we make the exact decision for the jet engines. So you can even test the smart factories, you can even test the smart grids, that how much they are operational. So Phillips 66 is another software that you can use for crude mining, even for market analysis, logistics, and even for manufacturing, cyber physical systems. Everything can be tested for this. But I'm not used it, but I'm using OSI set that is already donated to me by one industry. So this is the data flow, everybody, that how we improve the data, how the big data is very important. So data is flowing in the physical entity. We take that data, we improve that data as a form of data set in the virtual entity. We keep on improving the simulations, we keep on visualizing the performance, and we keep on moving towards operational intelligence. So today, ladies and gentlemen, the most important word rather than AI is operational intelligence. So if you want to research towards Industry 4.0, we research with digital twins, augmented reality, or you can say the extended reality platforms, attaining operational intelligence. That's the answer. And that's the bottom line of my lecture, that how we attain intelligence in operations using digital twins. So this is also one of the area that you can do, that is the Delphi ILS. And this you can see that a simple tool, rather than to test the young naval officers that what will be the cockpit or other things, they are actually tested on the virtual things. So they will be cheaper, because today's simulators are very expensive, but digital twins are cheap as compared to that. And you can see the entire shipbuilding process is working on digital twins. So it is not a real thing. It's a digital twin of an operational center. So you can, before you implement something in the ship in the real time, you can have the testing by the captain, by the crew, that, okay, let's start with the communication control, see the performance of the ship, give us some feedback that what is actually required, how much you are happy, we can improve that. So there is no ship failures, no software problems. So imagine, everybody, I would like to tell you. Now, I know some of the people there, but I will not give you the names and even the university. There is one company that is Lockheed Martin. And there is a most controversial fighter jet in the planet, that is F-35. Some people say it's $1 trillion mistake. And some pilots also say that it's a MiG-21 offered in a 5-star hotel, or you can say in a 5-star cockpit. Same problem, same operations. Now that Lockheed Martin is using digital twin in order to change the aerodynamics of F-35. And they have hired 2 universities in USA, I know both of them, in order to improve the software problems of F-35. Now, in the future, the Lockheed Martin is saying that if you really want to be accommodated, if you really want to be sure about the design of the fighter jet, first of all, test using digital twin. So it is a word of Lockheed Martin, which is one of the best companies that design the fighter planes for US Army. So new opportunities, innovations, services, and of course, with digital transformation, we have operational excellence. Of course, it will reduce the cost. Of course, no problems. Everything I've already told you, those companies that have gone bankrupt, they would become billionaires. Those missions that were critical, important for us, Maybe you can see that about 10 years back, you have seen in Mission Mangal movie that when our satellite exploded and it had costed lots of millions of dollars to India, if we would have used a digital twin, we have tested that digital twin simulation, maybe would have find that this component was having the problem and we would have corrected that. Maybe that mission, rather than to be a failure in the past, it would have been successful today. And that's the answer. That's what I'm saying you. I would like to take digital twin back to the time frame of 15 to 20 years and see what we can see today. It would be a complete future today. 2020 will be a complete, 2021 will be a complete future today. So you can see that with the operational caliber of manufacturing and shipbuilding, right now it is only in shipbuilding, aircraft maintenance, and of course in production assembly and by Siemens. So very few of the few companies are using this technology. It is expensive, but still it is improving. Okay, so takeaways will be that we can optimize the brownfield in parallel to greenfield. We can conceptualize the operational data, the operations of a particular data as a data set to improve the engineering. And we can have the digital environment using operational data, and we optimize the equipment performance. And that's what we can say. We are now the service providers. We are now becoming the operational providers to attain excellence in any product. So I think so. I have 10 minutes. So I can not cover full of the lecture because I have 1 hour only. But if the time allows me in the future, maybe I would like to request Dr. Nitin to invite me for 1-day lecture for this thing. So
Sure,
yeah,
sir, definitely,
because
sir.
this requires more things, but it cannot be accommodated in 1 hour. But I will be just giving you some overview and general overview of this slide now, because it will take more than 1 hour more, because my digital twin lecture is of 3 hours. Okay. So still, I'd like to cover some of the aspects with this presentation. Okay. So see this, everybody, from product and production engineering, and you can see we can address tomorrow's industry challenges. And you will all agree with me today that, sir, this was a technology which has to be awaited, which has to be integrated for medical things. I'm doing work on 2 things, drones and dental technology. That's all. Because my university has a CVS lab. They have AR with using HoloLens 2. We are making the AR systems and apps for dental. And I want to implement digital twin like this. I would like to give you something about it. Suppose a person met with an accident and his entire teeth and everything are disfigured. Now, dentist has to perform the operation in real time, which means dentist has to take only experience. She or he has nothing. But what if I clone a digital model like a 3D AR system of that patient, and after that I provide a digital twin of that model, which means rather than to put the operation on the live things, dentist first of all perform the operation on a virtual entity, make what is to be done, give the errors, give the take the more and more simulations, take down the steps, and then perform the surgery there. The surgery will be 100% better as compared to live surgery without experimentation. So that's the reason, everybody, I would like to tell you, simulation is very important. But in a real sense, when you're taking critical application as a base to solve a particular problem, that's the answer. So digital twin, you can see it integrates all the data, all the models of entire product, assembly system, infrastructure, and of course, simulation is a part of that with 3D CAD-enabled models. And of course, it was developed by US Air Force. Of course, and even NASA is today using that. Why the NASA missions are getting successful? It is because of digital twin. Even you can all see that they have launched the Perseverance model on Mars, and you will be all happy to know that this was the first robot that was even tested with digital twin. It is the modern era today that they were known by all the things. Why this mission was successful? Because they already know all the conditions. They tested all the things in digital twin, and now they made that robot there. And believe me, Linux is operating there. Linux is now on Mars, and Linux is operational, and I'm happy for that. So you can see over here that digital twin can be used for cars, for planning the city, for performance twinning, everything that you can perform huge knowledge from coupling the data-driven and engineering model, which means in the future, we will not have the knowledge-driven solutions. We will have wisdom-oriented operational excellence. Now, I'm not talking of data to information to knowledge. I'm talking of wisdom-oriented operational excellence, where machine learning and reinforcement learning, with the grace of God, it should happen. We should be successful. It should be used for continuously optimizing the products and processes in the production assembly line. So I just skipped this one. Yeah, you can see over here that this is the advanced testing solution that is being adopted by Boeing, and Siemens is at the back end. You can see that the aircraft wings are getting tested. Jet engines are getting tested using digital twin. So why not India is using digital twin today for testing? That is the answer now. So you can see, and you will be happy to know that all the ground vibration test of A380, A400, A350 to 1000 are now all dependent on digital twins. Yeah. So you can see over here, this is one of the software that you can note down, and all the software, sorry to say, every software that you can see right now, like we have MATLAB there, but maybe in the future, MATLAB can have digital twin capability, maybe. But right now, all the softwares are highly commercial. They are for thousands of dollars. So you can see over here that we have the sim center, we have the exact behavior lab system. We are putting up the physical system to virtual, and we are producing everything on the virtual modeling. So see this, everybody, that we are testing the car even before inducting the car in the market, even before giving the car a test drive also. We are testing that. So the power of digital twin, you can see that we are testing the gas turbine blade. You can even test the engines, the virtual thermal aircrafts, the propulsion engine, and of course, we can have the perfect aircraft system ready in the world. Perfect aircraft system. So why not the space vehicles also? Every mission would have been a successful mission, everybody. So coolant systems, like we have, if you want to design a digital data centers, how we can design that? Where are the coolant systems? Of course, the machines of the future. What could be there? I make a machine. Okay, let's have that. Let's make a digital twin and let's test it. What is the main claim that we can do? Improvement. So this is all I would like to share in this lecture. I hope everybody have enjoyed this. And now if you have any question regarding digital twin, or if you want to ask me any question with regard to both of these two lectures, we have 5-7 minutes. This is the perfect time for you to interact with me. Of course, we can have. Of course, sir, actually, if you talk of the finite element analysis, they are not going to give you the exact physical entities like the data and other things that is present in the physical form. So digital twin technology is actually incorporating all the physical parameters, all the actual parameters that you can see in physical model into the virtual model. That is the reason finite element analysis is more like a emulator, and you can say a simulator workbench. But I am talking of a simulation and a real-time operational environment, which is like the physical environment. So that's the reason we have the digital twin technology.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, my basic doubt is again the same, sir. What exactly the difference between the simulation and the digital twins? And what about the interface between the simulated model and actual?
Sir, let me, yeah, exactly. Because it's a new technology for you. It's a tough technology. Now, let me make it very clear for you. Okay. Now, what is simulation? Basically, you have this mouse as a physical thing, and you make a virtual entity. Okay. You make a virtual model like I've shown you in the machine. It is a virtual model. Okay. Which means that all the characteristics, all the physical characteristics will be hired in that virtual model. Okay. Now on that virtual model, you do the testing, you make the test cases, and you improve the scroll button, you make the scroll button down, you tilt that button, you actually run that, which means you are actually having the platform to test that what you think and what you improve. That is actually known as a simulation running. So digital twin is basically incorporating the physical into the virtual environment, but the testing of that improvements is like a simulation, because you're not putting it on the real environment, you're putting it on the virtual environment. That's the answer. So simulation is basically a criteria how you will improve the physical product. That's the answer. Any other question, everybody?
Sir, I have also a query.
Yes, Nitin, sir.
Sir, suppose we take an example of software like SolidWorks. In SolidWorks, we form a virtual 3D model of a particular product.
Yes.
Then we will do the analysis by applying different conditions.
Yes.
The whole analysis is depend on the how you find out the condition. What are the different conditions?
Of course.
And the values, or the, we can say, how you can quantify those conditions, and then apply, and then you do the analysis?
Sir, first of all, if you talk of the SolidWorks, I have also worked on AutoCAD, then CATIA, then Pro E, and even have worked on SolidWorks also. But the only thing is that these softwares are only known as not the virtual replicas. These are known as just the supporting replicas of a particular thing, which means that you have to make assumptions. Now, you will all agree with me that if you're working on simulator, you have to make some assumptions. But digital twin is over there. You don't have to make any assumption. It is actually the physical replica, which means whatsoever it is there in this mouse, it will be exactly in that virtual mouse, which means you don't have to make any assumptions, any conditions, any operational capacity tuning parameters, nothing. Whatsoever it is there, you start from here in the virtual environment. That's the answer. So there is no lagging capabilities or other things. We don't work on assumptions, because today, if you talk of research papers, if you talk of simulator, even when I do the review of the research papers, I always give the paper back that, okay, sir, this is a minor revision. Please give me what assumptions you have taken before applying the testing. So the person says, okay, sir, I assume that these sensor nodes have this much of battery capacity. This is the area. Everything is perfectly working. The static topology. This is all assumption, but this is not there. This is simulator. This is simulation, but we are talking of virtual simulation, which is having digital twin enablement, which means whatsoever you see in physical thing, you exactly see in the virtual thing. There is no assumption at all.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
That's the reason, sir, I'm telling you that our moon mission would have been successful if we have used a digital twin. NASA has even tested the Perseverance robot that is now on Mars, operating, doing the capturing of the video, doing the capturing of analysis, experimentation. They already tested it on digital twin. Even that helicopter that is going to be launched after 5 months, that is also tested on digital twins. Yeah, that's why they are perfect now, because they actually tested it on the environment of Mars, exact environment, where there will be no assumption. That's why today, sir, let me tell you, if you are an engineer, like you are sir, which field do you belong? Electronics or mechanical?
Mechanical engineering, sir.
I thought so, because you take the work of SolidWorks. So in SolidWorks, sir, you say that in mechanical engineering, you always take some assumptions, you always take some observations. But in digital twin, there is no concept of observations and assumptions. It is not. It is exact replica. That's why we use AI and machine learning. But I want reinforcement learning. That's the answer to perfection.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That is what I'm doing my research there.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, madam.
Sir, good afternoon, sir. I am Tamil Selvi from Saram College, Chennai, sir.
Okay.
Sir, I'm working on renewable energy solar panel.
Okay.
So when I want to observe my output in as you said, in virtual mode, I
Yes.
want to observe the current and voltage. Current and
Of
voltage
course,
responses.
you have to make the complete production process as a virtual replica. So over there, you can use the Philips 66 software. You can even use that is the OSI soft, but that softwares, madam, are actually commercial softwares. We don't have any physical any commercial distribution of these softwares.
It is not available and
No, madam. No, madam, I'm saying you openly right now. Digital twin research is right now open only for industry. It is. I'm sorry to say. I'm again feeling sorry. It is not for everybody. It is only for limited people. It is only for limited people because it's a very complex research. Very.
Okay, so I have one more doubt, sir. I'm working
Yes.
on LabVIEW, sir. LabVIEW virtual instrumentation.
LabVIEW is okay. LabVIEW is okay. You can add the hardware. You can test the emulation capability. It is not the digital twin, because over there in LabVIEW you can connect the hardware, which means you are testing only on physical hardware only. But over here in digital twin, you make the exact virtual replica of the physical thing, and then you make the testings there. That's the thing. So if anything fails in a physical thing, you have to bear the consequences. But we say, do the testing, fail the real thing in virtual replica, you will be appreciated because you make the errors. That's why today errors in engineering are reputable.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Nitin sir, I think so you will agree on me that as a mechanical engineer, if you make a simple mistake, it is going to cost you millions. Of course, yes, I think so.
Right,
of course.
right. Yes.
But as a mechanical engineer, I think so you must have worked in some industry, and you will be all agreeing with me that even if you make the perfect machine, you can only test it to up to 70% of your capability, because industries are only on cost cutting to test it. That's why we say that we have a team of 10 software developers, then we have one tester, but otherwise it should be 50-50 as per me. But if you're in industry, you will all agree that in mechanical engineering wing, if you have 100 people as a team, you will have only 3 persons as testers. Now, can you rely that these 3 persons have done their job in a precision manner? No, you can't test. Okay, and that's the reason people fail, products fail. But in virtual replica, you as a developer is also even a tester, and you will love that. That's the reason precision happens.
Okay.
Yeah. Your mechanical engineering, you can see that your lecture, that my lecture was actually oriented towards mechanical engineering, but the work that we perform is of computer science when we use AI and machine learning.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay, everybody, thank you so much. Now, before I wind up the session, so I would like to give you my details for all of you. So here is my email address. If you want to contact me anytime, you are most welcome. And here is my website. And here is my WhatsApp number. Anytime you can contact me on WhatsApp if you want to have collaboration, if you want to ask me anything, anytime. And if you want to search me, my search is even like Michael Jackson. So you can search me on Google by my name. And if you are on YouTube, you can just subscribe to my channel with my name, Anand Nair, but it is Gyan with Anand Nair. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, I post my photos, I post my innovations, I post everything on my Instagram. Just search my name, Anand Nair, and same on LinkedIn, ResearchGate, everywhere. Here are my connections. So you are most welcome to connect with me, most welcome to collaborate with me. You are most welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nitin sir, for inviting me.
Thank you very much, sir, for your wonderful session. The session was really very, very interesting and very, very fruitful for us. So we wish in future also we will connect with you on the continuous basis, sir. And thank you very much for your time, sir, and for your presentation. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Okay,
sir.
thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay, sir.